During this pandemic, we have been introduced to a new normal, social distancing, in which we stand at least 6 feet apart from each other. Some states have gone as far as issuing requirements for masks and face masks to be worn on public transit and in retail stores. People are wearing gloves whenever they go out, and people are staying in their houses. We can see as ordinary citizens how social distancing has been implemented in our government to help protect us and help try to slow the spread of COVID-19. But how are these guidelines implemented for those who are working? Some workers have had to start telecommuting, while others, deemed essential workers, still have to physically go into their workplace. So we talked to two people, one that falls in each category: an essential worker who still has to physically go into work, and a worker who is now telecommuting from home. Here's what they have had to say about social distancing in the workplace.
At your job. So right now I'm currently a student worker. I'm a learning assistant in the Department of Instructional Design and Delivery at Salisbury University, where we educate professors about educational technology such as my classes, Zoom, Panopto, and right now we are all teleworking in my department, and we are working virtually to help professors with this accommodation of online learning.
I'm currently an employee at Amazon, and for the first question, at our job, we have to be 6 feet apart from each other at all times, no matter like what we're doing. Even if we're clocking in or clocking out, we can't be near each other. They even started an app just so we don't be as close to each other.
The University Maryland system has told everyone on campus, everyone that works on campus, even the staff, the professors, the people that work in the departments, that we all had to go home, work from home. So right now we are all working from home. I feel like the University's Maryland system is doing a great job protecting the safety of the workers, so we're not there spreading or contracting the virus.
When we first walk into the job, we have to get our temperature taken just to make sure we don't have a fever. After that, we get a mask, and then we get our gloves and our safety jackets, and they just try to make sure no one is like in contact with each other. Now it's required that we wear a mask at all times, even when we're walking out at the end of our shift. I think our job should keep us like being distance from each other. Like even when there's too many people on the clock, they'll ask people to leave because they don't want too many people on the floor at the same time.
In my opinion, after this pandemic, I do not think that the extra steps that we're taking to be clean should continue to happen, just because for years, for the years I have been growing up, we didn't have to take extra caution to make sure that we don't contract diseases. I just think that this one's just very there's no cure, we don't know much about it, so we're just taking the extra steps. But once we do find a cure, or it does dial down, or if it just the virus extincts itself, I feel as though that we should not be taking the extra steps, just because such as wiping down the carts. I feel as though that's not economically friendly. I am an environmentalist, so I would not. And the mask, there I seen on social media people are leaving masks on the ground. We are taking the actions, and these are great actions. I feel as though we should, as Americans, we should reflect on this and remember that, maybe before I eat a meal, I should wash my hands instead of wearing gloves. Or maybe before I shouldn't touch the shelf and then pick my nose. So it's like, I feel as though we should reflect on this moment and how us the people, can be more cleansier without having to take the necessary steps of why it shouldn't be someone else's responsibility.
While it is unlikely that many of the practices being enacted during social distancing will carry over to after the pandemic, such as wearing face masks and gloves into public places, standing 6 feet apart from each other, and having most of the workforce telework. These practices make you think, will this pandemic change how workplaces operate in the future? Has this pandemic showed employers just how easily diseases can spread? What will life look like after social distancing? To get the answer to these questions, we will just have to wait and see. As always, I am Savannah Johnson.